GM, welcome to what's going to be another great episode of DevNTell. So if you didn't know, DevNTell is a 30-minute podcast held every Friday for founders, hackers, and anyone in between to come on the show and showcase their product. So today, we're ecstatic to welcome John Nguyen, who's a DevRel at Mantle. So if you didn't know, Mantle is building the largest sustainable hub for on-chain finance with core innovative pillars such as Mantle Network, mETH protocol, and Function BTC. So if you stick around for today's episode, you'll see John give us an overview of Mantle and tell us about their ongoing flagship hackathon called the Cookathon. All right, let's get into it. But first, a word from our sponsors. Today's episode of DevNTell is brought to you by our friends at Arbitrum. Arbitrum is a technology suite designed to scale Ethereum. You can use Arbitrum chains to do all the things you do on Ethereum, but your transactions will be cheaper and faster. With over 3.8 million ETH saved, 1.69 million active wallets, and over 1.7 billion total transactions, why would you want to settle for any less? Get started today by exploring Arbitrum's comprehensive docs and tutorials linked in the description below to help you get started launching your next dApp today. Now, on to today's show. GM, welcome to the show, John. A pleasure to have you on, man.
Hello, everybody. Yes, thanks so much for having me. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, likewise. Pleasure to have you on. I know you all at Mantle have some awesome stuff going on. You have a big hackathon going on called the Cookathon that we're all excited to learn about. But before we get into all the those fine details, perhaps would you like to give an introduction about yourself for folks who aren't familiar?
Yeah, 100%. My name is John. I'm a DevRel at Mantle. I also do things, tinker with products and just do random stuff. I started in the space like just being a hackathon developer, right? Usually just contributing on the front end, smart contract or whatever. Kind of basic, but I slowly made my way up to kind of participating and actually winning one of my first hackathons, and that's where I like met the Mantle team. Actually, like they were called the BitDAO team previously, before like all the rebrand and things like that. So I initially joined BitDAO, and like kind of from a hacker to becoming a DevRel, I think the path is pretty smooth. And super happy now. It's like we can create developer activations like Cookathon that I'm going to be talking about, and continue to contribute back to like the developer ecosystem. That's my two kind of sentences about myself.
Right on, man. And that's a very common path. I've seen lots of DevRels and other folks take to join teams. Basically, you build something pretty cool at a hackathon, like a company takes notice, and then bang, you got a job. So
Yeah.
right on, following right on script.
Yeah, the way I got pitched to DevRel is like, yeah, imagine you're like still coding and you get to talk to people. Like, can you imagine that? That's pretty cool. And I'm like,
Yeah,
damn, for real.
and,
Yeah,
and, and travel and travel, right?
and travel,
Conference,
and travel. Yeah,
conference.
yeah.
Yeah,
So it's like a good place.
awesome, awesome. Yeah, I agree. Um, and I guess before joining Mantle, how did you get interested in technology in general? Like, did you always know like tech was where you wanted to land?
Yeah. Like specifically like crypto and Web3, um, I got introduced to it like through a user perspective, like the retail trading perspective. It was a bit painful in the beginning. Just I think trading is never easy, and like 99% of the people actually lose money. I'm part of the 99%. So I quickly understood where like the real things are going on. Like it's like back of house in the like product, like in the products, right? So that's where the real work is being done. So yeah, I quickly that's like my exposure to it was trading, but I quickly realized that that's not what I'm good at. But in the crypto technology itself, that was my onboarding. But like in general into coding was like through high school. Like my dad actually forced me to do it initially. I hated it like completely, but like eventually it was like especially when I learned about like the early days of AI, like just tinkering with TensorFlows I could learn, and just like libraries that abstract the hell out of it. So that was like my initial point of touch into like coding. And then at some point I was like, damn, I love crypto, and I also like find coding fun. So it's like let's just merge it together and then become a smart contract engineer, for example. So yeah, that's like how I got into the tech, I guess, and I'm like continuing to learn. In yeah, by no way I think this is like my last point in my just curiosity. There's like a lot of cool stuff going on in like the AI space. Coding and like executing things now is like much easier than ever. Like so many vibe coding tools and things like that. So it's like, yeah, I'm always curious. I'm always learning. So yeah, I don't know. Probably a lot of people might relate to me. Yeah, in the audience.
Certainly, yeah, and that's the way you got to do it. You always have to stay curious and wanting to learn, and that's exactly how you grow. So, right on, you're on the right path. Uh, and yeah, and your path has led you to Mantle, like you described. For folks who aren't familiar, like what is Mantle, in your own words, and why should developers watching the show care about Mantle?
Yeah, just a little bit about Mantle. Mantle is a general purpose layer 2 on Ethereum. So we are a rollup or Validium. From the tech side, from the like boring stack side, we are an OP stack chain. The difference between us and like other OP stack chains or super chain L2s is that we use eigen layers, eigen DA for our DA layer, as well as have a really kind of interesting roadmap to transition into being ZK rollup. So we're going to be like the largest ZK rollup by TVL once we do. And yeah, that's like the boring tech side. That's what Mantle is. You can build anything on Mantle, anything that you can deploy on Ethereum could also be on Mantle, fully even compatible. So yeah, that's where like the good developer experience comes from. But also like it we're trying to incubate our own products, right? So as you mentioned, the kind of a few pillars, we call them, that we kind of use to describe Mantle. So one of them obviously is the Mantle Network that I just talked about. Also there's mEthereum, so, or you might call it meth. It's basically just a liquid staking liquid staking derivative, so allowing you to stake your ETH and earn yield, the same way a function or FBTC works, right? Yield for your Bitcoin. And kind of the more exciting ones that we are actually planning to launch and announce pretty soon is the Mantle Banking and the Mantle Index 4. So Index 4 is mostly for like VCs and institutional players to invest into like a bucket of crypto assets. And like Mantle Banking is actually, just think of it, Revolut on the Web3. So it's like we're trying to yeah, just close this gap between like the regular retail banking and like Web3 digital assets and things like that. Yeah, more on that to come. So yeah, we run things on the layers, right? We have a layer of the chain itself, and then products. So we're also app builders. We're builders just like you guys, and we also want to like empower everyone else to build on Mantle as well. With that, there's like I think the main thing about Mantle is not really the tech, not really that like the products. It's like about the community. We have a really great developer community thanks to Sozu House and like other our initiatives. So Sozu House, for those who don't know, it's like a hacker house. So if you're like a builder and or developer, you're wondering, you're like in your room, like everything's online. It's, of course, the fact that it's online, it's great, right? It's great accessibility, but like there's a big challenge there too. You're not as connected to other like people of your own kind, basically. So like that's what Sosa House actually solves. It's a hacker house. We invite everyone to come and live together for like a week or two, and they're the same builders, founders, and like people just trying to make it, right. They're the same people as you. You connect, you build together. Like, so it's been able to like foster a great like innovative environment. So like for me, actually, why Mantle and why should people care about Mantle is actually because of Sozu House, the community around Mantle, and yeah, like the support we give is like it's a family basically. Yeah.
That's amazing to hear. Yeah, and it sounds like Mantle is the full stack um, kit basically for people who want to build on Ethereum on a L2. Is Mantle in testnet mode, or is Mantle in mainnet now?
Yes, Mantle is in mainnet. So especially with like the Ethereum upgrade, we are going to be with like we are usually live with all the upgrades on mainnet like very quickly. So yes, to answer your question, yes, we are on mainnet. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I was gonna ask you the Pectra update. Is it live now on Mantle, or Dev's still cooking
Yeah,
to
yeah.
bring it aboard?
I can just do something about it. Yes, so we are still cooking on it. It's gonna be live on testnet first and then mainnet. Yeah, I think we're trying to take an approach where we're taking a step back. We have it implemented, but for us to push it, we want to kind of have us a little bit delayed to get the grounds going and to see what's gonna happen on mainnet Ethereum first. But yeah, it's like there's a lot to discuss about the Vector upgrade. I love my favorite part of it, of course, is the EAP 7702. I think it's really going to bring a better UX to Ethereum. Actually, Benji from Optimism wrote a great thread on the official Ethereum Foundation account. For those who like want to learn more about the Vector upgrade, definitely go there and check it out. Yeah, it's like usually Ethereum upgrades were for the infra. Now Ethereum upgrades are becoming for the UX, which is like you can't like it, right? You cannot like it, right? It's a really good improvement and I think a step in the right direction. Yeah.
Indeed, and I mean it's something that the entire industry can benefit from, right? It's like that's one of the inhibitors of basically Web3 kind of crossing the chasm there of getting people to actually use the tech beyond just like the the quote unquote degens
Yeah.
that just like trade crypto, right? Even though crypto is like one of the main use cases of blockchain, but
Yeah.
and yeah, it's promising developments indeed, and I and yourself will be very keenly watching as things progress on that front.
Yeah.
And back to Sozu House. Billy, my man Billy wants to
Really.
do a workshop out of Sozu House. So
We we
yeah,
can never say no to that.
there you go.
Yeah, for sure.
There we go. Um, and yeah, I guess bringing us back, you guys have this big hackathon going on called the Cookathon.
Yeah.
It's your flagship hackathon. Yeah, just tell us about that. Like, what is
Yeah.
that? How people can get involved?
For sure, yeah. Maybe before that, just a little bit of context. Like the team and I, we've been like contributing and sponsoring and just doing hackathons all around, like throughout the previous year and the year before. And like we've noticed a couple of like just fundamental flaws in the regular hackathon structure, I guess. So yeah, there's two things that we considered when we first like designed the Cookathon, we called it, right? You don't hack, you cook. So yeah, basically the two ideas is that we are trying to make it more gamifiable, right? So it's like broken up into steps, pretty fun. And like the second thing is that there's a continuation to it. So we're trying to make it in like stages, where you are actually engaged in like different parts. So yeah, the idea is that it's a monthly recurring hackathon, right? So it goes every month till October. So that's like the first cool thing about it. The second cool thing about it is that it's virtual, so you can be anywhere and like participate and like be at any step of your career or whatever, any part of yeah, basically if you just want to cook, just come and cook, right? That's the idea, accessibility. And then the third thing is that yeah, like it's broken up, like every month it's broken up into like 3 steps. The first step is the ideation part. So you only submit your idea, so you get some time to actually think about what you want to build. The second step is the actual MVP. So it could be like a really really sketchy vibe coded prototype, or just like we want to see the idea half baked, but like at least something working. And then the last step is where like the real cooking comes in, right? That's where you like we want you to like ship it like you mean it, like figure out all the necessary parts for your app and actually have it come together. So that's all within a month. And yeah, like every month we have $15,000 worth of rewards. So 10,000 will go through like the first top three winners, and then 5,000 will be like a pooled bounty, divided across everyone who got into like the third stage, where it's actually like the real cooking. So yeah, that's basically like it should give you kind of a clear path to build a project on Mantle. Yeah, it's like y- you're not like specifically forced to like deploy your contract on Mantle or something like that. So what you have to do is just build something that aligns with the like overall ecosystem. Yeah, and of course DM me if you want your idea to be validated. Uh, if yeah, maybe we could post some links later about Cookathon. They're probably going to be in the description or whatever. But yeah, that's basically the idea. If you want to cook, come and cook. We will support you all through the steps. Yeah.
Amazing. And um, every month, is there like a different theme of like different types of apps you guys want to see built on Mantle, or is it just like wide open?
Yeah. So yes, there are a couple of themes. So like the first theme for the first cook is Third Web Nebula. For those who don't know, Third Web Nebula has a pretty cool product. It's basically V0, or like it's basically an LLM pre-trained and like fine-tuned towards blockchain. It's like it's cross-chain. You can like basically select any chain and like say, oh, analyze the last block and all the transactions within it or something like that. And the cool thing about it, you could actually use it to build stuff. There's an API. There's a like you guys know ThirdWeb. ThirdWeb is a great developer tool. So yeah, you could also plug it into your app. So that's basically the idea for this kind of Cookathon cook theme. That's going to be like utilize Nebula in like any shape or form. So we're actually like we're still learning. So like throughout all these months, we're gonna be like fine tuning our own idea behind themes. Maybe we shouldn't force it as much. Maybe we should force it even more. Like so probably expect changes, or if you have any feedback regarding the structure, let us know. Yeah, but hopefully themes will bring some, I guess, some flavor into every cook. Yeah, every month.
Yeah, for sure. And it always keeps people on their toes and keeps the ideas fresh.
Yeah.
And on Nebula, ironically, Third Web was the guest of DevNTell last week, and we learned about Nebula there. So, boom, there you go. If people want a bit of a more deep dive on Third Web, definitely check out that episode with
Yeah.
Joseph Ortega from last week as well. After this, yeah, and Lyle has a question. Has the Cookathon started already? And where can he learn more about the Cookathon? Um, yeah,
Yeah.
you want to take that? Yeah.
It's already started. You can register on the Luma. So we'll have links posted somewhere, maybe in the comments. Yeah. Um, and yeah, you just register in the Luma, submit your idea, and you can hop right in. Yeah,
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, and we're all looking forward to all the amazing apps that that you all are going to build for us. Yeah.
yeah,
Um,
also
yeah.
very thankful for Developer DAO to kind of support us. With like some extra kind of distribution, extra ears. I've actually been part of Developer DAO, and like just in general, just watching from aside, I think this is one of the things that made me happy, and like one of the things that made me excited about like the space. Even though everyone's sitting in the tiny rooms around the world, it's like we still come together and like build a community together. So that's really awesome.
It is, yeah. The power of community is amazing. Like if you get enough like-minded people together, like yeah,
For sure.
it's amazing. Yeah. Uh, and yeah, as Billy says, we do indeed support our members. So, but we wouldn't be who we are without our community. So definitely, Um, right on. And yeah, I guess kind of sticking with the hackathon still, um, are there any particular projects like in the past that have kind of like stuck out to you, or perhaps there's something in particular you'd like to see built? Yeah, maybe give some inspo for people who want to join the Cookathon.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I'd like to like even if you're not a developer, even if you're listening to this, you're like just a creative product or design minded person and you've never touched code before, you have no idea, like just do it. There's a there's so many tools out there nowadays. V0, Lovable, even Third Web Nebula, right? As an AI that could help you vibe code it all. Like the implementation, the execution can be offloaded to an AI nowadays, and it's like more and more, it's like your product taste and like your idea actually matters. So yeah, for those who are just creative people, hop right in. We have no problem with that. We kind of see you as the same. Like it's all about building cool ideas. Like it doesn't matter if you're a developer or not. Um, yeah, for us, like we have a bunch of like, I would say, evergreen tracks. It's like AI. We look for like AI projects, DeFi projects, consumer projects. So like I personally like consumer projects because they're very tricky. For you to like drastically increase the user's UX in a meaningful way and also like in a very smooth and slick way, I think it's like even harder and like even more interesting to see than infra improvements that a lot of like say smart people focus on. But yeah, I think like there's always room for improvement in like the user experience of for regular users interacting with on Ethereum and with dApps. So things like that is also like very nice. Yeah, gaming is also one of the tracks. So if you're into games, things that like get people addicted, that stuff we like, right? I think gaming in the past was way too much kind of incentive play. So like people were actually coming into games and to make money rather than actually play a game because it was addicting. So yeah, like games that just make you addicted should be perfect, right? Social apps, like basically all in all, come in from any side or angle, just make sure it's good, right? The quality of the build is what we're looking for. And thankfully enough, nowadays quality is not dependent on like your coding abilities. It's actually dependent on your product taste and like a lot of other design kind of features, I guess. But yeah, if you have any problems or issues or questions or idea validation, yeah, in the Luma, in the registration, you'll see a Telegram chat. That's where all the chefs, the cooks come together, and we talk about ideas. We talk about good things, bad things. Yeah, just join us.
You heard the man. Just join them. And yeah, that was a amazing answer. Thank you for sharing that. And I guess you touched on it kind of throughout, like how AI is kind of just like part of our workflow now. Is Mantle concentrating on adding AI as another pillar, or anything there you can speak on?
Yeah, I mean, there's nice. You put me on the spot here, but
Sorry. Yeah.
there are things that I really can't announce and like can't tell yet. But there's something called Mantle X, or like another pillar, that will heavily be focused on yeah, developing some product, something with regards to AI. If you're a really cracked AI researcher or AI developer, a real AI developer, let me know. We might have something for you. But yeah, it's like there's a lot of great products being built around this. AI became a buzzword. Basically, it's like it almost feels cringy saying it, but yeah, it's like that's the truth, right? And we're trying to find an angle where like this Mantle X or the AI pillar comes like in handy. Maybe it's something like internally for our products, maybe it's something external for like a tool or something, for that will make developers' lives easier, or like users' lives easier. Let's see. But yes, we are kind of trying to move in every direction, as you can see. Let's see which one actually like stands out. But that's what we're cooking. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. And yeah, I guess stay tuned, folks. It'll be
Yeah.
coming your way soon enough. We have a couple questions from the crowd. Lyle is asking about Mantle Bank. I believe you touched on this earlier in the segment,
Yeah.
but if for Lyle, if you want to just give a
Yeah.
TLDR. Yeah.
Nice, nice. Yeah, good question, right? Since we are developers here, like Mantle Bank, it sounds like a user specific app, right? Maybe from a developer standpoint, what is the angle here, right? I guess that's the question. So yeah, from a developer angle, if you're a dApp on Mantle, right, and you're trying to onboard like normal users, right, like the people who maybe are not crypto natives, and they don't particularly want to figure out all the bridging, yeah, all the bridging hell that we have on crypto, and they just want to have a mentee on Mantle to use your app, right? So that's actually where Mantle Bank comes from. You would likely have a way to kind of integrate that and like have it in your app as well, and allow your user to actually seamlessly have funds, like on ramping of funds, off ramping of funds, and like all in all, just have a better like consumer experience, rather than having to again go through all the hell of bridging to Mantle, or like in general, like we assume that like Mantle banking would be mostly for non-crypto natives. So that's what you should be expecting. And as a developer, yeah, just stay tuned for like touch points between Mantle Bank and your app. Obviously, we don't have everything figured out, so like if you have more ideas on how this could like work together with like every other kind of dApp out there, yeah, let us know. Yeah.
Awesome. Great question. Great answer. And Billy's asking where he can see the themes for the oncoming months for the
Yes,
code.
Billy. Billy wants to see everything right away. Yeah. I can DM it to you, but yeah, I mean, we are trying to like we're still iterating on the different themes moving forward. Actually, we should discuss this all together. I'm a big fan of like building in public in a way. So like, yeah, Billy, if you have any ideas on what the themes should be, literally don't limit yourself. Just ping me, man, or yeah, text it down here in the chat, because yeah, we got a lot of ideas, but we're trying to iterate what's going to be next or whatever. Also, we don't want to reveal everything so that people don't prepare in advance. Make it cool. But yeah, that's the idea.
Sweet. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. And yeah, I guess as we're coming to time here, just always curious to hear people's thoughts around like what excites you the most in Web3 right now. Is it kind of like the cross between Web3 and AI, or um, like Pectra, or yeah, just curious to hear.
Yeah, I mean, for me, what always like excited me was that we like, just speaking of the Ethereum community, we kind of made things that just work. I think like we were good at like designing incentive games. Like all in all, Ethereum is a big incentive game. Like Uniswap, like AMMs in general, like fast capital bridges, whatever. So basically, we've been like throughout history in Ethereum, we've been fixing holes with like or gaps in user experience with like basically some incentive structure. And now with a lot of the upgrades, especially Pectra, right, and then like a lot of the ZK things that are going on in the space. I think there's a bright future where like the UX actually becomes usable, right? Like the biggest problem that we have in crypto is that like it's just impossible to make the user experience as easy as we have it outside of crypto. Like there's no way I'm onboarding my mom into this. Like it's insane, right? Um, and also there's not like nearly enough use cases for anyone and everyone in the world to find a place in crypto, or Web 2, Web 3. So yeah, for me, what excites me is like increasing like developments in the user experience, making it better for the regular people to use it, and more apps. More apps is definitely something that I'm looking forward to. More apps that solve real problems, the more apps that are actually addicting, entertaining, that will actually bring the next wave of people. And with a better UX, we're gonna onboard them really easily. So that's what I'm excited. Yeah,
Love it. Yeah, and same. Yeah, it's like it's very it's an awesome time to be alive.
for sure.
To see the all the monumental like breakthroughs in tech.
Yeah,
So yeah, definitely agree with you on that. And yeah, unfortunately, that brings us to time. But thank you so much, John, for coming on the show. I really appreciate it, and I'm sure all the devs here are going to start cooking on the Cookathon. The link to the details around the Cookathon will be in the YouTube description below, as well as the Spotify description. So definitely check that out. And weekend's
yeah.
coming up, no better time to hack. And if you are into collectibles and you watched us live today, you can claim your Bit Badges viewership collectible for watching us live. So if you're into that kind of thing, definitely check that out.
All
And
right.
yeah,
Thank you
yeah,
so much, everybody. Yeah, thank you, Nora. Thanks the developer DAO community for having me. Yeah, if you want to support, if you want to build your next app, try out Cookathon. Give it a shot. Basically, give yourself a shot. And yeah, see you there.
yeah, exactly. See you there.
Yeah.
And yeah, with that, just want to wish everybody a very happy Friday, happy weekend wherever you may be, and we'll catch you back here for another great episode of DevNTell next week. All right, all. Have a good one. Cheers.